remains in effect from 6 p.m. Tuesday to midnight Wednesday night. Timing: wind chills will reach 20 below around 1 a.m. and continue into Tuesday morning. Some light snow is expected tonight. More snow will begin by Tuesday.
It's another edition of Thrift Store Vinyl Finds here.
Less than an inch tonight, and 2 to 4 inches Tuesday night into Wednesday evening.
Yeah, I know. Kind of got that kind of a cabin fever thing going here. Been off work for about a week and a half, holidays, some paid time off and paid holiday time off, and basically had a lot of time to just kind of like relax. No big plans. I didn't really get together with my family. I mean, got together like the week before this week, and I actually got out today despite the cold weather, and found the new thrift store in nearby town of Waukesha. Vincent de Paul. Actually, I had no idea about this store. They had a really tiny little hole in the wall store in downtown Waukesha, but I hadn't been there in quite a while. But they opened a big, really nice store in the southern part of the city there, and I found it purely by accident. I was driving into there's another Goodwill near where I work there, and it was a crazy coincidence, really. I actually got lost, and if it's Waukesha is one of those weird cities with all these weird. The streets are so goofy. It's like it's not set up like a modern grid city. It's one of those older cities with a lot of one-way streets and stuff. And I kind of took a wrong turn or something to get to the Goodwill, and I just kind of went out of my way, and out of the blue, I kind of like went down some road, and I looked at all these kind of retail strips that so many suburbs have, and I saw this big store that said Vincent de Paul thrift store. So naturally, I stopped and went in, and I was really impressed. They had a lot of decent furniture. Of course, they always have a lot of clothes. Kind of looked through records. They didn't really have much in records, but I was really impressed at how modern the store was. Everything was presented, displayed really nice. It looked like a store that would sell new merchandise. I mean, all the fixtures and racks and things were all nice, and shelves were all nice, and things were arranged really nice. So kind of like the thrift store gods kind of like led me to that place, and I'll probably eventually, occasionally visit it. It's kind of a little out of my way, but gonna show you some real recent finds mixed with a backlog of stuff to go as almost like 6 months ago. I haven't made a vinyl video in a while. Of course, I made a lot of photography videos, and I'm still going to do that, but I haven't forgotten the vinyl community. I still watch other people's vinyl videos too, and I occasionally comment or whatever on those. So, and it's really late. I mean, it's actually like 1:45 in the morning, and I'm doing laundry because this is like, even though I'm off of work, I got to kind of get back into the third shift mentality. In a couple days, I have to go back to work again, start the new year. New year, new attitude, I hope, and not that things were not going that well. They were going all right, but I think 2014 is going to be a much more optimistic year, and I hope it is for you too. If you made any resolutions or whatever, it's a good idea, maybe, or not. I don't know. It's up to you. I'm having this is what I'm drinking. I know some of you like to show what you're drinking. I'm having some Mickey's malt liquor here. So let's get on with the finds here. First one is from we have a kind of an antique mall in my town, and I haven't been there in a while, so I usually look through what new stuff is there. I found a Led Zeppelin album that I never had back in the day. I had all the earlier albums, but this is the one that I never had. I had a friend way back in the mid to late 70s who had this record, and I had borrowed it from him and played it a couple times through. And most of these songs, I don't really hear on the radio, but a lot of people may think this is probably their best album. I think I don't know, it's not my personal favorite. I think it's maybe my second favorite record. My first favorite is Led Zeppelin 3. But anyway, this is what I got. It's Physical Graffiti, and I still got the price tag on it from the antique shop. It's $12.95, $13 there, and like the tag says there, it's got some pops and little wear, but it is very playable, and it's probably a pretty good price. I mean, for the condition it's in. The covers and the sleeves are all there, and I think it's a pretty good record. I played it through once, and it plays pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with that, and nice to have this one. Next few here, I got it at the Goodwill in my town just about 2-3 days ago. I think this is their first album by the group Traffic, and it's on United Artists. I played it through. It's pretty good, I guess. I don't know. To me, I liked Steve Winwood. I think I liked him the best when he was in Spencer Davis Group. I just like the songs. They were tighter, and I don't know, they were just more cohesive or melodic. This was a pretty good. I guess this is a pretty good record. It'll probably grow on me, I guess. So that's Traffic there. This is kind of a. Then these next like 3 or 4, I got all these at the same time, and these are all Warner Brothers, and they're all promo copies. They have the white label. This is kind of I played parts of this record. I don't know, didn't really grab me at first. I mean, I'll hold on to it, but it's a debut album from a all-girl group called Fanny. And I think this is the front. And here's the back cover. Of course, it doesn't have the word Fanny on it, so it must be the back cover there. And here they are in concert, I guess. Yeah. Like I said, this is a Warner Brothers, and it's a white label promo, and it's in very good condition, probably like near mint condition. I don't know, it's kind of like kind of bluesy, kind of folky, bluesy rock kind of. So I don't know if anybody else knows anything about this great band, but I guess I'm gonna hold on to it. Maybe I'll play it a couple more times. Now this, I don't know who this guy was. He's kind of a singer-songwriter, I guess. This is also on Warner Brothers. It's also a promo copy. This guy, some guy named Turley Richards. I never heard of this guy. I tried to look up this record in my collectible records book, that Goldmine book. Wasn't in there. And like I said, this is also a white label promo there, and it's also in like excellent condition. And to be honest, I don't know, this guy, he kind of sounds like John Denver meets Gordon Lightfoot. I mean, his singing style is just turned me off immediately. And some of the tracks, a lot of these tracks have like some kind of like lush string arrangements behind him. I don't know if he's kind of like a singer-songwriter or whatever. He's got some covers on here too, some original stuff. He's got like a Gordon Lightfoot cover here, Softly. If you remember that, the song Softly. Also one called I'm Not Saying, that's also a Gordon Lightfoot cover. What else? Love Minus Zero, No Limit, that's a Bob Dylan song. He covers that. And the rest is like original, so it's kind of hard. I don't have my reading glasses on, so it's kind of hard for me to read here. But I don't know. Maybe I'll play it again and see if it grows on me. But that's Turley Richards. Here's another band. This is another band I never heard of, but this is also a Warner Brothers promo copy. A band called Zephyr. And there's one guy in here that I've heard of, Tommy Bolin. I don't know. I can't think of what he did. He sounds vaguely familiar, but anyway, I think this came out in like 1970. It's kind of like bluesy rock too. Also, it didn't grab me either, but I'll hold on to it. I mean, it's a promo copy, so it's mildly collectible, I guess. Can't think of this as a promo copy. I think I already have this record, but this is also a promo copy of this guy, Tony Joe White, and I think this might be his second album, or I don't know, first, or I don't know. I have his other record. Of course, he had that big hit, Polk Salad Annie. Remember that one? That was a big radio song back in, I don't know, it was maybe 1970, 71. I can't remember, but I think I have another copy of this, so I'm just going to compare them and see which one's in better shape. Oh, this is a promo copy also, so maybe I'll hold on to it anyway. And was that on Warner's? Now here's kind of a more eclectic. The English folk boom was big in the late 60s, early 70s, and I got here it is, another white label. This is the Pentangle, which had is that Bert Jansch? Is that how you pronounce it? And that other famous guy, John Renburn, I think he's in here. But this is Cruel Sister by the Pentangle. I haven't even put this on or played anything of it yet, so I don't know, I'm just not in the mood for something this kind of deep yet, so at the time here. Actually, all this time I've been off of work, I haven't really played many records. You'd think I'd be playing records all the time, but I just kind of enjoy the quiet, and I hear enough crap music at work, and crap music, you know, you go to stores too, and they play all that crap that only a 8 to a 14-year-old girl would be interested in, you know, all that pop stuff, you know. But those are the recent finds. Now I'm going to show you some of my backlog, and this is by no means, this is maybe only about 25% of stuff that I haven't shown, that I've had for like 5 or 6 months, but and it's all kinds of different stuff. I got a couple older Frank Sinatra. We go from the Pentangle, only my videos where you go to something like from the Pentangle to Frank Sinatra, but I got that old feeling. So there's an older record here on Columbia. Just the back here. It's in excellent condition. It's the 6i Columbia there. I had this. This is my sleeve. I had an extra sleeve to put this in. So I haven't played this yet. It appears to be in excellent condition. And you know, sometimes I think everybody should have. I mentioned this in another video. I think everybody should have maybe a couple Frank Sinatra records. And then I also have this one. This is a stereo, more recent one. Come Swing With Me. And this has got the kind of a rainbow. Is that the star line or no? No, it's just, it is a stereo record there. So that's, now I'm not really into this group, or I remember they were like, I mean, they all appear to be in like near mint condition in the mid 80s, all that pop stuff in the mid 80s. But I got like 3 records here by the Thompson twins. And this one here's The Future Days. I haven't played this yet. And then I got Close to the Bone and Into the Gap. So I don't know. I got them because, you know, I think they're only $1 and they appear to be in excellent shape, and I don't know if I'll hold on to them. I'll play them when I get in the mood. Used to have this woman's band, or this band's records. I had all their early records. I think I ever had this one, but I got this one by Pat Benatar, 7 the Hard Way. So this might be pretty good, kind of that 80s thing going there. And then I found an older Jackson 5 reissue on Pickwick. Of course, Pickwick was that kind of budget label that would reissue albums under license. But this is Maybe Tomorrow. Yeah, I almost think there was a theme going here. Like, here's The Future Days, and then Maybe Tomorrow. I don't think so, Michael. I think you kind of screwed up that Tomorrow thing there. But anyway, that's the Jackson 5. Any hits on here? I can't recall. Never Can Say Goodbye. That was a pretty good record. That was a pretty good single. That's the only hit I think off this record. I remember when that was out on the radio, and back in the days of Top 40 AM radio. And I'm gonna, at the end of this video, I'll talk about some of my memories of Top 40, especially in the winter months when you feel like you're cooped up, and you know, like your radio was like the big thing in your life. Of course, it was in my childhood. The radio for me was kind of like a big thing, Top 40 radio, because I kind of grew up. My family, we pretty much grew up poor, and we couldn't buy pop records, so it's like all new songs came out, we pretty much heard them on the radio until they moved on to something else. You know, if there's a song you really liked, you kind of look forward to it coming up on the rotation or whatever of the playlist there, until they moved on to other hits or other records that were selling. But anyway, I digress here. This is a pretty common record that you find at thrift stores. I only got it because this one's in like near mint condition, so it's going to be a replacement copy. But this is America History Greatest Hits, and yeah, it's kind of like a guilty pleasure. I remember these songs back in the early 70s, mid 70s, so I have some pretty good memories of, you know, stuff like this. America's pretty good songs, pretty good singing, that kind of acoustic thing they had going. I'm always on the lookout for certain classical records. I got a couple here. This is what is that? Symphony Fantastique by Monk or Munch. Oh, Boston Symphony. Oh, he's the conductor here. This is an older record here on RCA. Haven't played this yet. And then I kind of like Rachmaninoff. So if I find something from Rachmaninoff that I don't think I have, I usually pick it up. But this is Symphony No. 2. So I got that going. Now here's a Cat Stevens record that I never saw. I remember when I used to go record shopping back in the day. And then my mom actually kind of like turned me on to Cat Stevens. She wasn't into, back in like the late 70s or early 80s. She started buying some pop performer albums, I guess, but she had like Tea for the Tillerman and Teaser and the Firecat and a couple others, but she didn't have this one. I don't think I've even played this one yet, but this is one called Numbers, a Pythagorean fairy tale. So this might be kind of interesting. And I can't recall. I would assume this is on A&M. It's kind of like a little booklet. I think this is lyrics or something. Oh, this is like some weird, I don't know, it's like a little storybook or something. If you can see that. Kind of strange, huh? So I haven't got around to these older ones I'm showing you. I haven't got around at all to playing them. But that's Numbers by Cat Stevens. Here's kind of a budget compilation here. I have other stuff by Jan and Dean, but this was the Jan and Dean story. Probably got all their bigger hits there. Yeah, Surf City, Dead Man's Curve. They got some Beach Boy covers like Fun, 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 I Get Around. What else? Little Deuce Coupe. They kind of like were friends with the Beach Boys, and I know that Brian Wilson actually wrote stuff for them, and much to the chagrin of Capitol Records, they didn't want Brian giving stuff away to other people. They wanted all that stuff for the Beach Boys to do themselves. But I kind of like Jan and Dean. I mean, they had kind of a short career of stuff, but it's nice if I have a good, clean copy of some of these songs. It's nice to have. This is on some small label called Ruby Records there. So let's see what the label looks like. I don't think I even looked at it. Okay, Ruby Records. So that's the Jan and Dean story there. It's a short story. Here's kind of a weird, cheaper compilation too of I don't know, like string band stuff or different performers here. This is like it's got Mason Williams, Glenn Campbell, and some other performers here. It's kind of like a compilation of different stuff. And I think I might have played this already a while back. But that's kind of nice to have. This is kind of not really a Pat Boone fan, I mean, but it's like if you do find stuff by him, usually they're kind of beat condition. But this is probably going to be, I know I have this record, but this one is in near mint condition. This is his first album here, so I picked it up on Dot Records there. So, and I think I pretty much have almost every Kingston Trio record. I'm always looking out for all these kind of like pop folk stuff of like the late 50s, early 60s. But actually, this is actually a very timely time to show this record. I mean, it's called The Last Month of the Year, and of course they look like they got their Christmas gifts there. And it's probably pretty timely because this is the 30th. I'm making this. Well, now it's the 31st, because like I said, it's 10 after 1 in the morning here, and it's so it's last day of 2013. So, and the last month of the year. I usually don't come across this, although I have a couple now. Now I have this one. This is a Julie London record there called Make Love to Me there. Julie London, big picture there. And it's on Liberty. Let's see what, I can't recall if I don't think I played this one yet. It's got the kind of the cool picture sleeves there. It's got some of her other releases and stuff that's come out. Really nice condition there. The sleeve there. Let's see what the, oh, look at that. Oh, neat, cool green label there. Maybe I'll play this tonight as soon as I finish this video. This might be a good good wintertime record to play. I don't know. So that's Julie London there. This is kind of a cheapy record. I've seen this other times. Some kind of ethnic kind of folk music. It's I don't know what was the ethnic folk music of Cuba, salsa or mambo, or I don't know what it is. I haven't played this yet, but this is something called Havana 2 a.m. Maybe I'll play this one too right away after I make this video. I like this kind of music. It's stuff you're never ever going to hear on a radio or whatever. So that's some Cuban music. This is a very cool find. It's a kind of a box set, and I think there's, can't remember how many this is 4 or 5 records are in here. It's an Elvis box set here, and it's got like these are all I think they were all #1 hits. I can't recall. I think there's like 50 of them. I think there's like four discs in here. And I think most of them, I think they're all mono too. I'll show you maybe one or two. Each sleeve has like kind of pictures or whatever. Okay, this is a more recent pressing here. See, it says mono. I have played this all the way through. I mean, I'm not a huge Elvis fan, but it's nice to have, you know, samples of all his big hits. I mean, he made so many after, you know, after the early 60s, most of his his albums were basically soundtracks to those movies, and a lot of those movie songs that he sang in the movies or whatever were, I mean, they're all pretty mediocre as far as being rock. Of course, they weren't. We all know, everybody who knows anything about Elvis knows that his best work was like before that, when he, or before the army, when he went into the army or whatever, when he was still with Sun Records. But even after he went to RCA, he, for maybe the first couple of years, he did, you know, he was still rocking, I think. But then, like, as his movie career kind of like went on, a lot of those songs, stuff he did, kind of got mediocre, and he did a lot of other stuff, country and gospel and all that. But I'm kind of digressing here. I need something. I need to wet my whistle here. I know we all run across maybe Glenn Campbell records. I mean, it's kind of sad news about Glenn Campbell, about his illness. We don't know how long he's going to be with us. I mean, he did that little tour, I guess, with his son. He has son and daughter, maybe, who played with him or whatever. But this one is in excellent shape. Something called a new place in the sun there. I don't know if this is from like the late 60s stuff he did, maybe. He looks like relatively young there. I remember, first I remember Glenn Campbell back, this is dating me, way back in when I was a kid. I remember one of the must-see TV shows, for me and a lot of people, was the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour. Not only was there comedy sketches, kind of like very topical and controversial. But Tom and Dick Smothers, they had like great taste in picking music acts to appear on their show. And I think Glenn Campbell's first ever appearance on a network show, I think, was on the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour. And I think he was, and of course then later on he actually had his own TV show called The Good Time Hour. That was like a summer replacement show, and I remember watching that and really enjoying that. So that's Glenn Campbell there. These are ones, I got a couple here from the Police, and I think I had these before, and then I got rid of them, and now I decided to get them. I mean, I've heard these songs, we've all heard these songs so much on the radio, but I think these are two of their better albums, I guess. So we've got Ghost in the Machine, and let's see what the disc looks like. Well, it's got like a picture sleeve here. Well, it's kind of cool. Kind of digital readout thing there. And of course, this is the one that was like played to death on the radio. This was Synchronicity. But I picked it up because it was in like excellent condition for like $1. So, and here's, I think this is kind of a folk pop performer. I think from maybe the mid '60s. I don't know. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. This is Gail Garnett. Groovy Things. Sings about flying and rainbows and love and other groovy things there. So that's Gail Garnett. I think she had that hit called We'll Sing in the Sunshine. That it used to get a lot of airplay on the oldies station or whatever. And this is the RCA. This has got like a picture sleeve too of what was out at the time. Of course, there's that newfangled invention called the 8-track tape. Wow. State of the art. And ooh, it's got the cool, it's got the original Nipper the dog label there, and the vinyl appears to be in like near mint condition too. So I'll probably play this one pretty soon. Gail Garnett there. And last and maybe not least, I don't know, this is some small release by some, I don't know anything about this lady, this woman, girl. Some singer called Joey K. Joey. Gotta love a girl named Joey, hey? But this is on some company called La Brea. Let me see what the label looks like here. Okay. Here it is there. I have no idea what this is, so it'll be a total surprise. I haven't played this one, obviously. So that maybe in the mood for something to be surprised, I'll play this. But that's enough for now, I guess. But like I brought up before, winter time, you know, you got cabin fever maybe, and you're kind of like, you don't want to go outside or whatever. Like I said, way back in the day, like from like the mid '60s when I first, you know, went to school, had to walk to school or whatever. That was like the golden age, I think, of AM top 40 radio. When I remember, the one station, well, there were like maybe 3 top 40 stations in Milwaukee where I grew up in my childhood years, and the big station really for AM radio was one called WOKY on 920 AM. They still exist, but I think they're like a sports format now. They had changed formats like several times since the late 70s. But I remember on those cold winter mornings when you got up for school, and we would always have that radio on, and that's usually when the morning guy, and I think his name was Bob Berry, who is still around Milwaukee. He still does like some TV show where for car dealerships or whatever. But usually, maybe like the top 10 records would be played in like constant rotation. So I have memories of what records were like, what were the top records up at that time before I would have to walk to school on like the cold winter mornings there in Milwaukee. So that's, and being it was a top 40 station, they played a variety of stuff. I mean, they didn't just play pop or rock or whatever. You heard like the whole gamut of what was, what people were buying at that time. And I that's something I really miss. I almost never listen to radio for music anymore. Maybe occasionally in the car, but I got CDs to play in the car, and of course I obviously have plenty of records to play at home here. And that's what really got me into buying records. I think I mentioned this in maybe another video. Why I'm in such a variety of music, because I heard such a variety of music growing up. Even my parents, they didn't buy pop records, but they bought like occasional like a movie soundtrack or a classical record, because that's what that generation bought back then. So that's kind of like what got me through the winter, when you didn't want to go outside or whatever because it was too cold to do anything except maybe the necessary evil of having to walk to school on those cold days. So, and that's how I feel today too. It's like you want to get out or whatever, but it's nice, you enjoy being in and having time off to do stuff, to just do quiet things like me, or you read and you study and do stuff like that. So I hope you got something out of this video. It's been like all my videos, I always seem to go much longer than I really plan on it. But with that, I'll let you go for now, and thank you for watching, and thank you for all my new subscribers there and all my old subscribers. My channel really didn't take off until I kind of joined this vinyl community. I didn't know there was a vinyl community. I didn't know other people were making videos about like records and stuff like that when I made my first videos along that line. And so I appreciate your comments and things like that, and thumbs up and things like that. So I hope you all, if you're like up here in the north central U.S. or Canada, obviously, where it's cold, and keep warm or whatever. Of course, we had the news about power outages in southern Canada and Minnesota, and it's this harsh weather, it tests everybody, but we're tough people up here. We know how to get along in this winter, and I don't know. I don't mind the cold weather myself. It's snow that I don't care for, because if you have a job to get to, it's like it's just a hassle to drive through it if you don't have a great vehicle, like I do. My car's rear wheel drive, so it's like a kind of a challenge to do that. But anyway, with that, I'll let you go, and whatever you do, stay warm, like I said, and bye for now.